What's going on, guys? Dawkbro back again. I hope you are fantastic today and welcome back to another Five Nights at Freddy's video. Now, if you remember yesterday, Matt and Pat had a live stream with all of us involved and Scott was putting clues on. It was a really hype night and I spoke about it yesterday, a sum up on what we think. Me and Razbowski have been talking a lot about this. We said it in the live stream, on Smike's live stream, about what all these clues could mean, and we feel like we're solving it, but there's still a lot of things what debunk it, but there's a lot of things what make sense. I think a lot of theories in Five Nights at Freddy's, there's always something what debunks it. There's always one little thing what debunks it, because the story of FNaF is so complicated. But I wanted you guys to think about this one, okay? Here's the question for you guys. What if Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2 and 3 was just all a dream? It was all made up, horrific nightmares of an experience of somebody, and that somebody is the Five Nights at Freddy's child who was bitten and was in a coma. Now, listen to this. Me and Razbowski, again, I'll mention it again, we were talking about this, but not as much in detail. Steam user Chikicha did basically sum up what everybody about the dream theory was thinking, and I've got some points to add on to that, and I'm going to talk about the game files later on. I'll do that at the end. I'll speak about the game file evidence at the end. Okay, so this is in sections: FNaF 1, FNaF 2 and FNaF 3. Okay, so this is the sum up. I'll read it all and let me know what you guys think, and I'll think what I think about it as well. Why the animatronics hunt you down at night and kill you. This is about Five Nights at Freddy's 1. So why do the animatronics hunt you down? There's a girl in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 that teases you, saying that at night the animatronics come to life and make it so that you'll never be found again. That's true. The orange-haired girl with the green eyes says exactly this point. Why Foxy is the one who you have to keep an eye out for, that can just come rushing towards you to jump scare you. So in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, Foxy's behind Pirate Cove. You have to keep watching him or he jump scares you. He actually doesn't kill, you don't see him physically attack you. And he says, your brother often jump scared you with the Foxy mask on. That's exactly right. In Five Nights at Freddy's 4, during the mini games, you see Foxy jump out behind the TV and under the bed, and that's what he does in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 in the closet. I'll talk about the connection later on with FNaF 4. Why there's the doors to the left and right that you can close and protect yourself. You had the doors from left to right in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 that would be used to protect yourself, and that's obviously the nightmare what we experience. The sharp teeth and claws of all the nightmare animatronics are represented as the bullies. And again, this is what he's saying. What I want to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is it's exactly the same as FNaF 1. Again, on the left is Bonnie. In Five Nights at Freddy's 1, on the left is Bonnie. On the right is Chica. On the right in FNaF 1 is Chica. Chica goes in the kitchen in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Chica goes in the kitchen in FNaF 1. Fox is in the closet in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 in a hidden area. So is Foxy in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Freddy is very hidden in the darkness all the time, and so is Freddy in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. We don't even know where he hides. I'm guessing he's somewhere underneath the bed, something like that. I have no idea. Okay, why there's a fan and a phone? You have a toy fan and phone in the room in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, which is true. You see a toy phone and a fan. Coincidence? The missing children incident reflects your feelings about the bullies on night 5 in FNaF 4, and maybe that the child wants physical revenge, so he has images of them dying by somebody. Like he pictures them dying for revenge. He wants to feel revenge, you know, that the bullies have done this to him, and he's picturing this in his coma dreams. And the It's Me in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, apparently it represents that you're the one who's creating all of this. It's me. I'm the one who's made this happen. This is my dream. Golden Freddy is able to teleport and such because he was your imaginary friend in the first place. It's especially dangerous, mysterious because it was Golden Fredbear animatronic that bit you in the head. That's very interesting. I don't know about that. Let me know what you guys think, why Golden Freddy is so mysterious and is connected with a child. I guess it could be imaginary. Again, we know Golden Freddy is a very big hallucination or a ghost because you can get into the office even when you've got the doors shut. Okay, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the Toy Animatronics. I always wondered why their official names were Toy Animatronics. It's because FNaF 4 you see a child playing with the tiny toy figurines that are in the same exact pose as you see in FNaF 2. That's exactly true. That's what Scott said yesterday about the missing beak. Why does the missing beak in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 represent Five Nights at Freddy's 2 when we see Toy Chica without a beak? Why? Why would Scott do that? And he goes on to this. She's seen without her beak because Toy Chica figurine is seen in FNaF 4 had her beak off. Like I just said, the connection with the FNaF 4 minigames is linked with FNaF 2. Toy Chica has a beak off in FNaF 2. Toy Chica has a beak off in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. It's like he's seen that. He's seen that image in FNaF 4. Like I said, FNaF 4 is real. The FNaF 4 minigames are real. And he's witnessed this. So in his dreams, he's witnessing it as well. Balloon Boy. In FNaF 4, you saw a chubby kid on the street holding a balloon. This is his representation of him. So he sees a boy with a balloon, a fat kid with a balloon. He does laugh as well. The child imagines him as an animatronic. Mangle Bean Mangled. In Five Nights at Freddy's 4, there was a room in your house where Toy Foxy Mangle was taken apart in pieces. Probably by your brother. You imagine that being an animatronic in a game, which is true. How can children rip apart a metal animatronic? How can you do that? It's physically impossible. I know for a fact, I can't go to Chuck E. Cheese right now, fly to America, and rip open Chuck E. Cheese's head. It's made out of metal. It would be physically impossible unless you got John Cena to rip it open. But that's another story. Shadow Bonnie and Purple Freddy. In FNaF 4, when you see the silhouettes of Spring Bonnie and Fredbear from behind the show curtain, they appear purple from your viewpoint. Scott's sight briefly had the message what is seen in the shadows is easily misunderstood in the mind of a child. This sighting would explain how Shadow Bonnie and Purple Freddy came to be in the child's mind, which is exactly true. Exactly. Why would Scott include shadows of the animatronics? He's never done that before in any of the games, in the minigames, so why would he do it specifically now? And I think it's to represent the shadow animatronics too. The puppet. I believe he is meant to represent you. You are the one who is pulling the strings. You're the creator. You've created this world. You've created the animatronics. Let me know what you guys think about that. Purple Guy being the killer. In FNaF 4 minigame Easter egg, you briefly saw Purple Guy putting a guard in the Spring Bonnie suit. You physically see him put the head on, right? And Purple Guy is just a regular employee, a technician maybe, doing his job. He was never a killer. But since you are a child that associates being stuffed into the suits because of the stories going around, the little rumours going around, and you getting your head bitten with being killed, you make the incorrect association that Purple Guy is some sort of killer. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Phone Guy mentioning that Foxy is his favourite. I'm not sure about this one, but Phone Guy's voice may or not represent the voice of your father. I've heard lots of theories about this, that Phone Guy is your father. In all of the games he's there. Even in FNaF 4, The Nightmare, Phone Guy is there physically. And if he's his father, people are saying that he's associated to be his father to try and comfort him, to try and support his nightmares, like guide him in the game, which is really interesting. I like that theory. And why you have the vents on the left and right, you have two doors on the left and right. Why is Foxy the one you have to keep an eye out for? Exactly the FNaF 1 explanation. You have to keep an eye on Foxy. You have to keep flashing the light on him or he will kill you. There's a fan on the phone again, the missing children incident again, and Golden Freddy again, which is really interesting. So they all seem to be linked with the minigames in FNaF 4. So FNaF 1, you talk to the child, the ginger child. She talks about FNaF 1, the toy figurines in the park with the little girl represented in FNaF 2. Now FNaF 3, this is again a really interesting one. In the FNaF 4 minigame, again, a girl talks to you about her Spring Bonnie plushie, and she calls it Finger Trap. Finger Trap because it bites. apparently, talking about how a finger could get stuck in there. Purple guy dying in Springtrap is a suitable death for him. Again, you saw Purple guy as a regular employee, not a killer, suiting up a guard in a spring bonnie suit, which was terrifying in your mind. How ironic for him to come to the same end, which is really interesting. The bad ending in FNaF 3. This happens if you don't forgive the child bullies that lead to your death. They continue to live on in your mind as murderous animatronics. That's really true. That is really, really true. Really true. The good ending. You get what you have never had on your actual birthday. A party. No bullies, cake, balloons, only happiness. You forgive the bullies that lead to your death, and the balloons floating up represent the forgiveness and your final passing in the afterlife. Why Springtrap can get you from either left to right. Again, the doors left to right. Shadow Bonnie and Purple Freddy. Again, he's just explained it all. The fan and the phone again, which is really interesting. Really interesting how this seems to all be connected. How all the FNaF 4 minigames link to a story. Scott said 4 games, 1 story. Is Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the minigames, the true story? And all of the nights, what we play as, are just us, the child, experiencing our nightmares. Now I want to say something. There's evidence of a dream in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. In the game files, the cutscenes, what you see where you're in a Freddy suit and you see the animatronics scan you and the marionette, the puppet. In the game files, it says dream. It physically says dream. I don't know whether you guys, any of you guys were there for the FNaF 2 game files. I made a video on it ages ago, but the sequences were called dreams. So we know that dreams are represented in this game at some point. Dreams. Who would have the dreams? We know that the nightmare animatronics are from a nightmare what the child experiences. We know that now. We know it's 100% a nightmare what the child experiences from the bullies. The sharp teeth, the sharp claws represent the bite. And, you know, and they all have 5 fingers as well, representing human hands. But there you go. There are real-life toys found in FNaF 4 that explain every single thing that the child dreams before he dies. And as we already know from the flowers, pills, IV drip in FNaF 4 and the flat line during the cutscene in Night 6, it's heavily implied that you are almost dead in FNaF 4 and then you die. So we don't even know how long this coma is for. We don't even know when he experiences these dreams. You know, I know a lot of people will be like, no, we don't want it to be a dream. That completely ruins it. But I don't know. I mean, some of this makes sense, but I know there's some evidence to show that it's not a dream. But when you think about it, this all seems to make sense. And the way Scott said about the child's mind in FNaF 3, there was a teaser saying it's all in your mind. You know, it just seems to make sense to me, but it's hard to know. It's really hard to know because the Five Nights at Freddy's story is incredibly complicated. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that makes sense? Do you think that FNaF 1, 2, 3 and 4 are all dreams apart from the FNaF 4 minigames? The minigames in FNaF 4 are real. You are the child, and all of the stories what you hear around, the rumours going on about animatronics coming to life, like false rumours, etc, etc, which Phone Guy says in FNaF 2 that the false rumours, so maybe he's right. Maybe this is just your mind playing tricks on you in your coma state dream, imagining all these nightmares because you want revenge on the bullies and you're representing Purple Guy as being the killer who kills them. It's really interesting, but it's weird how a child can imagine such things, but you never know. I've never been in a coma before, so I don't know what it's like. And I've had dreams. I've had crazy dreams before. So it's interesting. In a coma, apparently, you're kind of awake at the same time, and you can you know lucid dreaming, I think it's called. So you can imagine a lot of spooky stuff, what you want to do. So if the child's been bitten, obviously the nightmares in FNaF 4 is a complete nightmare. We know now that it's a complete nightmare. None of that existed. So it's interesting. it's interesting how the child experienced this nightmare with phone guy in, the phone and the fan. It's his nightmare, so why would he picture all of that? Why would he do that? So, you know, it's interesting. It's very interesting. So let me know what you guys think about that theory. I don't know. I'm 50-50 with it because there's loads of other theories what can be explained with this. But Scott has posted a lot of hints lately, and I think he wants us to solve it. So let me know what you guys think about this theory. Lots of love, and I'll see you all next time.